is happening. And look what where you reach. That's why in primary healthcare centers you now have contraceptive devices, you now have those all contraceptive pills. Why? This is the thing. If it leaves unchecked, where you will reach you can understand. And when this thing happens, what will happen to the income? It will be more being spent on that. So you'll be spending more on the healthcare, more on the education, more on the roads, everything. So there will be no further future progress, further development, unless you check the population, unless the population is being controlled. Now there are ways, we know that as Muslims we have our Islamic ways of controlling population. It's not always that we take those modern methods on. We have also the guided principles for checking our population. So we can follow those. We're talking about the attendance. Is that attendance somewhere?
No, Dr. Bilal isn't in his office.
So you can go to Tabak. Now, second thing I said, age and sex composition. Age means what are the different age groups in the population and what is the number of males and females in that. Please understand, if you remember era before Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, so what was happening?
Lot of boys
Yeah, boys were more,
yeah.
girls were less.
Yes.
They were buried alive.
Yeah.
And can you understand now this time? Imagine
Yes.
same thing is happening again in other countries. In other countries. Huh?
Women is more than the
No.
boy more than
The same thing happens. The same principle before Prophet. Same is being practiced in other parts of the world.
India.
In India,
China.
in China, what they do? They go for ultrasound, see that there is a female, they call female infanticide. Or if the female feticide, sorry, because it's a fetus inside.
yes.
And once it's born, they just do the same thing. What was being happening before era Muhammad Sallallahu.
You mean right now or
No, this happens now. So why it is important to know the male and female as well as the different age groups? Because it has a direct bearing of social, as I said. Now, even in your country, you have got more males as compared to females. You know that? We will check, we will see. So we have still more males as compared to females, but it's still acceptable. But other countries, they have 900 or 800 females for 1,000 males. So what will the rest of males do if they do not get a match? You can understand, that's called as social. Similarly, economic needs of the country and health needs. In an old population, if you have an older population, then you, as we have started, which is contrary to our beliefs in Islam, that we now are preparing old age homes. We are now shifting our responsibility, which is our responsibility. We are shifting, let the government take care of that. Isn't it? This is the truth. But we have to go back and revise it that no, we need to have our parents with us, we need to serve them as they have served us. Is that right? So if you have an older population, then you may need elderly clinics or geriatric medicine to be taught to your fellow colleagues in post-graduation. So now we will see here, this is of a developing country. The country which is not developed like America, Europe, Sweden or any other country. So when we see here, in this, this is called as age pyramid. In this age pyramid, this is the population on one side, the males, and other side, the females. You check it. Females and males. We plot it. And we say that we try to find out that in 0 to 9 year age groups, how many females are there, how many males are there. 10 to 19 year age group, how many females, how many males. Then we develop for a country, we develop what's called as age pyramid. The pyramids of Egypt. They used to make those pyramids. They're similar like that. These are called as age pyramids. You can see if you have a developing country, Then the population in the lower range, you see this is a broad base. You have a younger population more. You have less in the elderly, and also this is the working class. This is the working class who can work and earn for you. Isn't it? You can see here. Yeah. So these people are less. So you have more dependents. Because as you are dependent on your parents, and when you have more population, you just go back and think of your own homes. If you have this one more, the young population, they all depend for their needs on the parents. Similarly, in a country, if you have a country, big country, these are the dependent groups. This is the dependent group. This is the independent group. So if you have this one more, it will be better for the country. Look here. What happens if it's a developed country? The base is less. So you have less dependent population. But the people who can earn here, they are more. So this country will prosper more as compared to this country. Because you will have to continuously take care of your dependents, whether they are the younger ones or older ones. And here, you are only earning. You are putting your energy for development and other things. So this is the difference between a developing country and a developed country. There are various indicators for that. We will come to know afterwards in different lectures. That's how we say that it's a developing and developed country. So these are one that your younger age is more, your dependent population is more as compared to the developed countries. So you can understand now this country will need so many time to get developed. So this has to go less. This has to widen up as happening here.
They get developed for the base to grow up.
Yeah, now what we have here. So you are here, this is the point where you are using your contraceptives, your education methods, so that this population is squeezed. And more of them, this population will go here, so there will be less population. But they will grow over the years. So when they grow and you are using contraceptives, education methods, withdrawal methods, different methods of contraception, now this population will decrease.
So the decrease is better.
It's better because you have
the future you will not find the working people.
Why?
Because they are less.
What we are doing here, they are broad, they are men. So you have to give them, you have to feed them, you have to educate them, you have to take care of their everything. Now here, there is less. So you have to invest here less for them. But the people who are here, they are earning more. Here they are earning less, you are spending more. Is that right? If you are 4 people in your family, and all 4, they are earning and there are only 2 dependents. There are younger brothers to you, only 2. So you are spending less, earning more. But if you are more people below 15 years, for example 5, and you have only 1 person who is feeding you, who is giving you money, so which house will prosper? Which house will prosper? In terms of overall development. So same thing happens to countries. So that's why you need to understand the population. Accordingly, you can plan your services. Another is called dependency ratio. That means what percentage of population is dependent. That means who are not earning anything. These are the younger age group and the older age group. If you have more people in the older age group, this is happening now in Saudi Arabia. You have now more people in the elderly age group. And they have many problems, you know. Huh?
Yeah.
You have to spend more on them, isn't it? Yes. Say yes. That's why people are taking them out to the old age homes. They are now taking from house, they are taking them out to the old age homes. Because you don't want to spend whatever you earn on the elderly one. That is the bitter truth. That's what we are doing now as humans, what we are doing to our parents. Are you getting my point or not? No. Anybody who is not getting it, please raise your hands. You are getting the points clearly? So this is children and the elderly. They don't earn. They depend on this age group. When these earn, they can feed them. This is called dependency ratio. These are dependent on this group. You take a percentage, you will see that how much is dependent. Okay? Now, you can also calculate as young age dependency ratio or an old age dependency ratio. You can calculate. Nothing is working in any of the offices also. They are not working. Another, as I said, is called as a sex ratio. It has also social implications, because if the number of females go down, as I told you earlier, and the males are more, then there is always crime in the area. You find crimes and crimes. Or even if the females go up, males go down, still there will be problems. Isn't it? So this is called a sex ratio. Number of males to number of females, you multiply by 1,000. You see in India, 933, now it has, in certain states, it has gone to 800. So what will happen to others? A problem, big problem now. That's why the crime is everywhere. The social problems occurring now. Factors affecting sex ratio is difference in mortality between males and females. Please understand, when the male or female is born, the females are better as far as the fighting is concerned. They are biologically more better. They can withstand more stress as compared to males. So even at birth, the males die more as compared to females. And when they reach the age of the young citizens, the adults, they go for rash driving, they go for biking, they go for mountaineering, they go for so many things. They go for risk-taking behavior. Again they die. Virtually again the males go down, the number of males go down, so females will continue remain same, because they don't have this type of risk-taking behavior as compared to males. So actually, the females should be more as compared to males, ideally. And there is also female feticide and infanticide, as I said. Before pre-Muhammad, peace be upon him, the era before him, same thing was, this thing was practiced, but nowadays, besides this thing, they also practice this thing. Is that clear? So this is the reason why the number of females per 1,000 males is decreasing. So if we come to Saudi Arabia, what's happening? First the age, 0 to 14, you have a population of 32%, huge population. 1564, 64.8%, and 65 plus is now increasing. It's going to more and more in the elderly age. What is the sex ratio? At birth, you have 1050 males, 1,000 females. Females are less, but otherwise males are more as compared to females. Now what happens under 15? This ratio goes down from 1050 to 1040, as I said. Now the males will take the risk-taking behavior, and the number of males will decrease, and this will try to have a balance between male and female ratio. Now what happens? 1564, it goes again down, 30 per 1,000, and it continues like that. So there is not a big, yes. Yeah. Have? Yes. If you have, yes, that's right. Once you control the diseases, once you control your population, the base, the younger, the first line of the age pyramid, that will squeeze, that will go short. But the middle one will increase, the top one will increase. So now you will be having more people in that older age group. And when this thing happens, you will be again under stress to have multiple facilities for them, to have multidisciplinary team of doctors to manage them. You need to have a genetic medicine for them. That means genetic medicine means you have to be, most of the doctors in Saudi Arabia now opting for genetic medicine.
So either way you have to
Either way you have issues. Either way we have issues. But usually we have a balance. Having those younger ones is better in that phase, because you have a middle part is very big for earning this. Then there is growth rate. The growth rate you can calculate. As I said, the birth rate is called as crude birth rate minus crude death rate. How many are dying? You can see that what the percentage, whether we are increasing or we are decreasing. What is happening to the population. And please understand that 95% of the population growth in the world, if 100 people are increasing in the world, 95 people, the birth occurs in the developing countries. So the developed countries, they don't have too much of people coming into the population base. Now see that what happens if the annual growth rate is less than 5, if there is no growth, nothing happens. Less than 0.5, the population doubles in 139 years. Then whatever population you have today, if your growth is less than 0.5 annual growth percent, then it will take 139 years. But as the annual growth rate increases, the doubling time decreases. You are getting my point?
Yes, yes, yes.
It is very easy. So when the population increases by 1.5 to 2.0 is the annual growth rate, it takes 47 to 35 years to double the population. So understand, when you have doubling of a population in a short span of time, what will happen to your economy? What will happen to health services? What will happen to education? What will happen to your roads? Are you getting my point? And see that what happens. If it's here, it is only 20 to 23 years, it doubles. And there is no one in the world who can handle this population then when it doubles. So we are trying to move here, not here. It should take more time to double. It should give us time to adjust, to make arrangements for the increase in population. But if you do not have time, then you get collapsed. And it is called as life expectancy. First, let us talk about urbanization. Previously, you know that people were living even in the kingdom, far areas. Now they are concentrated, they are coming in. It's called urbanization. Urban areas where there are more facilities. There are medical colleges, there are schools, there are health services, there are shops and malls. So they are leaving those rural areas which are far away, coming inside. So that's again a problem which is happening. Now why to focus with your health services? Similarly, another aspect is life expectancy. Life expectancy means that if a child is born today, how many years it will survive. It's called life expectancy. Once we keep the mortality patterns which are prevalent at this time, we'll keep them, then we'll see that how many years the person will live. For example, in 1950, if a person was born in 1950, he used to live for 46 years only. Now a person who is born in 2002, he will not live here, he will live 63 years. He will consume more, he will use more clothing, isn't it? He will need more facility. You have to spend more now. That's what's happening. So that's why community medicine is important vis-a-vis to broader perspectives of health. It's not just going a medical care, seeing the blood pressure or the pulse and taking care of that. No, it's more than that. It's more than that. This is population explosion and expected births per when you can go it for yourself. Nothing to worry. This you can go yourself. Now this is fertility, the second part which I talked about. The factors that affect fertility. That means births. When there are marriages, there are births. We call fertility. It depends upon the age at which people marry. If you marry at a younger age, definitely you have more kids, reproductive time for that. So there are more kids. If you marry late, less kids. Duration of married life, same thing. The duration is more kids, if the duration is less kids. Spacing of the children means those contraceptive methods. If you are using what will happen.
To each child.
Yeah. Another is education. If you are well educated, you say, oh no, I don't need this time a kid because I have a second MBBS or third MBBS. No. Similar happens on the female side, they don't want a kid because they have to complete their MBBS first or a post-graduate. So with education, what happens is also the number of children, the growth decreases. Then obviously the nutrition, the economic status, caste and religion, we as Muslims usually have more as compared to other religions, there's no doubt about that. Then family planning, if it is present in the community or not, and there are other factors. Other factors include place of women in the society. If we give proper place of women, proper place to the women in the society, like they are teachers, they are doctors, they are at the top levels, in the mid level or the top level, then what will happen? Then the number of they will take care of what's happening to the females. Opportunities for women in local and community environments, value of children in the society. If you value your children, that if I have less number of children, I will educate them well as compared to having a large number of children but not educating them well. Then there is widow remarriage. That's again happening with us. Widows are getting remarriage, and again we will have more population. So these are the factors that affect demography. We understand what I am talking about. Now, what is replacement level of fertility? The replacement level of fertility means a couple will be replaced by a couple. That means a male and female, they are a couple. They have only 2 kids, a male and a female. That's called as replacement level. You should know this term. So the replacement level is a couple in the society or in the population, it is being replaced by a couple. No more than a couple. And it is called replacement level. It just replaces. The boy and girl who are born to a couple, the male and female, they replace. Because they will die, they will be replaced by these two. It's called replacement level. So somebody talking to you as what's the replacement level? So a couple replaced by a couple. These are indicators. So once we try to understand the population,